Hello, greetings from Finland, Minnesota, that is. I'm up here in northern Minnesota. Tomorrow I'm heading into George H. Crosby State Park. I'm going to do a winter camp out again, the park I've been to 2 other times previous to now. This time around, I've decided to stay in a motel room. I'm staying at the Maple Grove Motel just outside of Finland. And so I don't have a very long distance to go tomorrow to get to the park. So hopefully this time around, having learned my lessons from the last 2 trips, I'll have more of the day tomorrow to spend getting into camp, getting camp set up, getting firewood and all the rest of it, and can therefore enjoy the rest of the trip a little bit more and do other things like photography and whatever. So anyway, that's the plan. Heading in tomorrow, I'm going to campsite 22, which is the campsite I took the first time I went in. And we'll have to see how things go, but at least I should have a lot more of the day tomorrow to spend, like I said, getting in and getting camp set up and everything. So it's planned to be a 3-night trip. So I'm going in on Tuesday, the February 4th. The 5th and 6th I'll be staying in camp, coming back out on the 7th. So this will be at least a 3-parter, possibly a 4-part. Depends on how much video I get that last day and whether I can tag it on to day 3 or not. So anyway, yeah, that's my plans here. So should be a fun trip. The weather forecast is calling for the highs to be in the teens, upper teens to, I guess call it teens to the 20s. Lows, there's a couple of nights it's supposed to be right around 0, above or below a little bit. And the last night is actually only supposed to get down to about 13 degrees or so. Supposed to have some sunshine, supposed to have some snow, light snow, nothing major. So yeah, it sounds like quite a mixed bag, considering how short a time it's going to be. On my way north, I had stopped for some photography at Gooseberry Falls State Park and then Split Rock Lighthouse State Park. With my appetite suitably whetted in more ways than one, I had supper at the nearby Four Seasons Supper Club, and then it was time for a cozy sleep before heading out on my adventure. Trouble started almost immediately. I wasn't very far from the car when a D-ring on the waist pack I was using as a harness broke, rendering the pack useless. I almost quit there and then, but made a makeshift harness from some paracord and soldiered on. This did require a lot of gloves-off work in the bitter cold, and my fingers were absolutely freezing. I should have known better. I did know better, but I saw that others had taken the trail around the lake rather than heading across the lake, so I thought it wouldn't be too bad. Boy, was I wrong. The sled tipped over on a couple of occasions. On one of them, the bolt used to join the harness to the pole came undone and was hopelessly lost in the snow. This made even my makeshift harness unusable, and it ended up having to hold onto the slippery pole with my gloved hand. Even heading across the frozen lake wasn't easy now.
Well, good grief. Beard is getting frozen. Oh man. Well, the campsite is just up the hill here. After 10, so I thought it's my snack before I start getting everything up. I can't even get it to my mouth. Strap on my waist pack that I was using as a harness broke, so I couldn't use that anymore. So I tried to wear the harness. The bolts on my poles. So you got the bolts here. Hold the rope in. It's coming loose. Came all the way out somewhere somehow. It's hard to hold on to this. Handcuff slipping off. So I finally stopped. I was going to make a repair. I was going to try to thread a rope in through there, a cord in through there, and use a cord instead of the bolt. And I noticed a sign in the woods, so I decided to go and check out and see how far I had to go. I found out that I actually had overshot the campsite.
Having finished my apple break, it was time to complete the arduous task of hauling the sled, or pulk, up the hill to the campsite. With snow this deep, it's better to pack the snow down for a relatively smooth surface. A little redistribution of the snow will help level the site out as well. I decided to let the tent area harden a little while I moved on to other camp setup chores. First up was digging out the kitchen and fire pit area. Remembering the problems I'd had on previous trips with melting snow for water, I decided to use a hand auger on this trip to access the lake water, but I couldn't find mine. Thankfully, the kind people at the Maple Grove Motel loaned me one. Surprisingly, it didn't take very long for me to strike water. It turned out to be a shallow layer of water trapped between layers of ice. I drilled further, even to the point where I had less than a foot of the auger's handle left, and still hadn't hit the lake water. I decided the layer of water I had found was sufficient for my needs. With the shadows lengthening, it was time to look for firewood. Finding appropriate wood that wasn't buried in snow was difficult, but I did manage to locate a small amount. I wouldn't have much of a fire this evening, but at least it would be something. Daylight was fading fast, and it was definitely time to get that tent set up. Well, I managed to get some wood gathered. Didn't manage to get it processed though. Turned my attention to get my tent set up, and that took a while. Then I was going to fix supper. I couldn't find my pot, my cooking pot. I know I got it out ready to pack. I thought I'd packed it. I cannot find it. So what I decided to do was I trekked the 2 miles back to the parking lot, back to the car, and then drove back to Finland, and I stopped in the general store, and they happened to have a coffee pot. So I bought the coffee pot, and I figured while I was in town, what the hey, I went back to the Four Seasons Supper Club and had supper. Supper tonight was beef tips and noodles. I was going to have stroganoff tonight, so I basically had it, except I didn't have the stroganoff sauce or the mushrooms. So after I got back to camp, what did I do? Oh, I decided I got a little bit of lake water, and I have been busy trying to thaw out my Nalgene bottles, which is going slowly. I got one thawed out, got the water from it boiled. That's in the sleeping bag, getting that nice and warm. Working on bottle number 2 now. I still have to have evening cocoa and whatever else I decide to snack
After I got
on.
back and I was working on my bottles, I decided to try to have a small fire. Again, I hadn't had a chance to process wood, so to start with, I tried using birch bark with sticks. Tried that 3 times, didn't work. So finally I broke out my knife, did some shavings, got a fire going. I thought it was going pretty well. It was going pretty well. I thought it was going to stay, then all of a sudden it went out. So cold, going to be the coldest night of the trip. I don't have a fire. Oh well, at least I have wood. Tomorrow I'll get the wood processed. I don't really have enough wood, so I have to find some more. But I have to get some processed. But hopefully I have some time to have some fun tomorrow too. So, let's see.
I was up until about 1:30 trying to get water boiled for my bottles and for my hot chocolate. As a result, the sun was well up before I emerged from my tent in the morning. Well, dinner tonight is courtesy of one of my subscribers. I believe it was Big Sky, but I will confirm. I meant to check that out before I came out here, but I'll confirm when I do the video. So what he did was he sent me, or he had sent to me, a packet gourmet shepherd's cottage pie. Now, he had no way of knowing that I've already had 2 of these on my 2 Boundary Waters trips. Before my August trip, I accidentally ordered 2 of these packages. Had one on my August trip and then another one on my September trip. But he had no way of knowing that because I haven't got those videos up yet. But anyway, thank you. I know I like it, and so that's going to be good. He also had them send to me this Boston cream parfait dessert, which sounds delicious. And I'm going to I'm not going to have this right after dinner, but I'll have it later on this evening. So, thank you. If it was Big Sky, thank you very much. If it whoever it was, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Like I said, I know I like the shepherd's cottage pie. I don't usually bother with desserts from anywhere, so this will be kind of a treat. This will be a big treat, actually. So, thanks again. I have a new piece of equipment. When I was visiting my friend Jim back in November, he gifted me with this knife. It's a Maracni knife, something like that. Maracni, made in Sweden. So later on, when I'm, oops, sorry about that. Maracni knife, Marac knife. So later on, when I'm getting ready to start my fire and I'm making shavings and stuff, this is the knife I'm going to be using. So that was my good friend Jim. He and I go way back. We were roommates in tech school when we were in the Air Force back in the early 70s, and we still stay in touch, mostly thanks to him. And yeah, we go and visit him once in a while, and he gave me this knife the last time I visited him. As you can see, got a fire going tonight. I'm going to keep it somewhat small, but I can use about half of my wood. So we'll see how it goes here. I am eating my shepherd's pie. I unfortunately had to change my propane tank partway through because one I had on there just was not working. Was not heating things up very quickly. So it's 2 bottles that I've gone through now, and I only brought 4. So this is going to be interesting. I mean, the others are still burning, they're just not doing any heating. So on a car camping trip later on in the year when it's warmer, I can use up the others, but they're just taking forever to do anything here. I still have tomorrow's breakfast, tomorrow's supper, and then Friday's breakfast to take care of. So hope they last. I thought by boiling or by taking water out of the lake instead of boiling snow, that I wouldn't go through propane as quickly, but it seems like I'm still going through it just as fast. So I don't know what the deal is there, but yeah, it's kind of frustrating. Last night I was up until 1:20 because I wanted to get my hot water bottles for my sleeping bag, and I was trying to use the original propane tank to do that. I finally switched over to this second one. It went much faster after I did that, but oh, it was agonizing there for a while. So I don't know, going through propane faster than I used to. Don't know what's going on with that. Afternoon of day 3 out here. Last I saw, the temperature is 24 degrees. It's supposed to be going to 28 today. Then it's still supposed to be getting down into the single digits tonight. So I'm on the middle trail, which leads to the waterfall. Sorry I haven't done much filming today, but figured you didn't need to see me cooking another breakfast. Besides that, it's already afternoon and daylight is wasting, so I had a bunch of other things I had to do this morning. And besides that, with the batteries going the way they are, having a hard time keeping batteries warm enough to do any filming. So beautiful out here. I had 2 nights with the park to myself. Tonight I'm going to have neighbors. They were just moving into campsite number 21. I'm in 22. When I was leaving, of course campsites are pretty widely separated up here, so not really going to have to interact with them unless I want to. I made it to the shelter. Some nice firewood in there. Somebody haul firewood in all the way over here. Okay. Going this way. Well, we're about to start the downhill. I can hear flowing water. With a bit of luck, the falls will be a little bit open, which is what I'm looking for. First, I gotta start directing the trail down to the falls. They are running well. Show you in just a minute. Well, actually, you can't really see from here. I'm gonna have to move on, I think. Let me just get down here a little ways. Yeah. Hopefully you can see up in there. Water running. There's also water running down there. And further down this way we got. Yeah, this is where I was able to photograph them from a couple of years ago. And I couldn't get beyond here because the trail was too icy. I'm going to see if I have better luck today. The trail's still too icy. I do have my micro spikes along, so I made it. Fell a couple of times. It's tough getting here, but take a look at that. Isn't that fun? Definitely gotta break out the camera for photography. And the best thing is, the light is almost perfect. You got a white overcast now. this definitely has made it all worthwhile. This is super cool. This is super cool. Got some nice photos here. Got some nice footage that you've seen, probably seen, or you're going to see now. Great. Now I gotta start making tracks back to camp. Look like I'm camouflaged, don't I? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm here in the hiker cabin. Stuff getting back down here again, just like it was 2 years ago. Hope I can get back out with no problem. Quite the tough climb coming up out of the valley. Again, it always is. Looks like you're gonna have to do some repairs on the roof in here. One board that's cracking. Supper tonight. I'm having the beef stroganoff with noodles on my last night instead of on my first night. again, the first night I went into town instead. So I decided I had the stroganoff tonight.
All right.
Well, I'm sitting here in a hot tent right now. I invited myself over to my neighbor's place because I had a couple guys move in to the next campsite over from me today. They're actually hammocking, but they also brought a hot tent along to spend the evenings in. And so, like I said, I invited myself along, and we've been sitting here having a very enjoyable talk. As they would say in Britain, we've been doing some chin wagging, not jog wagging, chin wagging. Yep. So anyway, yeah, they're from Waterloo, Iowa, which is just down the road from us, but I'm going to have them introduce themselves. Which one of you wants to be first?
Me, I guess. Hi, I'm Randy Anderson from Waterloo, Iowa.
Okay.
Nice to meet Larry out here in the woods and have a good time sitting around the camp stove talking instead of freezing out around the fire pit. And Rod is over in the other chair, my brother.
Okay.
Hello, Rod Anderson. Hanging Yankees brother, trail name. Hanging
And-
out in the hot tent, trying it out for the first time.
So, what outdoor activities do you guys do?
Backpacking, snowshoeing.
Backpacking, snowshoeing? Yeah.
Yeah. And then some more backpacking.
I do a little bit of kayaking.
And what got you into winter camping?
I got tired of the break, the 4 or 5 months between the end of the season and the beginning of the season, and just decided I had to get out. So we started experimenting with further and further into fall and then into the winter, and yeah, and now we're here.
And you discovered.
But we're also trying to figure out how to make it a little more luxurious. So. And the hot tent, I have to say, is
Working out pretty good so far.
pretty decent. It's definitely warm in here.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit like a sauna at times. A sauna.
Sauna.
Well, like I said, I kind of invited myself over, but these guys were very accommodating, so
Well,
I
you were
really
gonna bring us
appreciate
some
it.
wood.
I was going to bring some wood, but then I discovered you had plenty of your own, much better wood than what I had, so my little offering was going to be, wasn't going to be much anyway.
Yeah.
But,
You just came to offer your company.
yep. So I do,
All right.
I do appreciate you guys allowing me to be here.
Yeah, glad you could join us.
So it's been a good time.
borderland out here. It sure is tough breaking trail in the fresh snow. Still going up a little bit of a grade, but they've intersected where a couple of snowshoers, day trippers came in, so not quite as bad breaking the trail now. Sure is gorgeous out here. Look at this. Perfect winter day. Perfect. Love it when it's like this. Got a nice little downhill coming up. It's gonna be fun. Oh, gosh, I can't believe how beautiful it is here. There's nothing in the world quite like fresh snow on evergreen boughs. It is so absolutely gorgeous. What a sight this is. Here's my car.